You. I'm excited because I'm going to talk to you about some of the foods and snacks that I like to eat while I've been on WW and now recently on intermittent fasting. Before I do, just a reminder to please subscribe, ring the bell option on top so that you won't miss any of my videos and you'll get them by email. With regards to my recipes, I just want to remind you that all my recipes are written under each video, okay? So don't forget to screenshot them. You can find me on Instagram, Risa's Piece 8, my Facebook group for more inspiration, Weight Watcher tips and recipes by Risa. Okay, so I just wanted to talk to you because so many people say, Risa, what are you eating? How are you losing weight? How did you maintain your weight for over 7 years? I'm not saying, people, that I've been perfect the whole 7 years. Nobody is perfect, right? Of course I'm right. During that time, you go through your struggles just like anybody. And sometimes, the weight goes up, unfortunately, and you have to get back on track. But when I first started out, or when I've gone off track for a while, and not too long, okay? I never let it get so out of hand or out of control that it was so difficult to get back on, because that's what always happened in my past. Okay, so I'm just giving you a little bit of history here. So for many years, I would say, oh, I'll start on Monday. I'll start next week. I'll start after that holiday. I'll start after that celebration. And it would turn and snowball into like weeks and months. And it would get harder because then you end up gaining more weight, feeling worse. And then you think, oh my God, if I just started when I was going to start, I wouldn't have 50 pounds now to lose, right? So I'm just switching hands because I'm walking. I like to do my walk and talks, right? So at the beginning, or again, when you first start out, it's so important to get rid of all the trigger foods, people. All right? And I've mentioned this in other videos. Anything that you feel that is going to interfere with your successful journey. And you all want to be successful. Now, the interesting thing about WW, Weight Watchers, I always still call it that, Wellness That Works, and intermittent fasting, is you can have everything in moderation. You can have everything in moderation. Now, WW is different. You count points. On intermittent, you can have anything you want during a window of eating, a window period of eating, okay? So it can be 8 hours, it can be 7 hours, it can be 6 hours, it can be 4 hours, because sometimes people have shorter windows, which is OMAD, 1 meal a day, or some people have 8 hours where they have a couple of meals a day with some snacks. And even during the OMAD, you can have snacks. And in Weight Watchers, depending when you see this video, I don't know if they'll have changed it because they're always trying to change things up. It's freestyle, which means you can have lean proteins that are free now. So, which means you can have as much as you want, and fruit. So lean white chicken, eggs, beans, fish. Okay, I'm not talking about all those delicious sauces on it, though. You have to count those. You have to count your carbs. So breads, rice, potatoes, and any kind of snacks. With that said, though, people, it's still important to measure. And after all these years, of course, I can pretty much eyeball things because I've done it for so long. But 1 cup of fruit per serving. And between, I would say, 4 to 6 ounces of lean protein is important to have. But when you start eating 10, 12 ounces, listen, some people that are on keto, I'm not telling you what health journey to follow. I'm just telling you what I do and what has helped me. Because everything still has calories, right? Everything still has a certain amount of fats, sugars, sodium, okay? But you want things that are leaner, especially at the beginning. And then once you've been on it for a long time, then you can have and incorporate more into your diet, okay? So again, even with intermittent, you know, people will say, what are you eating? And I'm eating really healthy. I'm not craving the sugars anymore. When you cut things out, and it takes, remember, at least 21 days to form new habits, right? And you have to set different types of goals. And one of your huge goals should be meal planning, meal prepping, and grocery shopping, okay? That's going to keep you focused and in control of what goes in your mouth. And what goes in your mouth, more than anything else, is going to help you lose the weight, okay? So going out to restaurants, I'm not saying you can't. I've always enjoyed going out to restaurants. But when you make things yourself, you have control over all the things that I just mentioned, okay? And that will help you to lose weight faster. You know, some people think if they go out to eat and buy all these higher fat foods, that they're still going to lose weight even on intermittent. I don't know about you, but depending on where you are in your journey, that wouldn't be happening for me. All right? I stay on it for 5 days, my intermittent, with WW, and then I splurge on the weekends. Even with splurges, I still try to be mindful, okay? So, you know, it doesn't mean that I'm going to have an entire bag of chips and, you know, a whole pint of ice cream or anything like that, or 5 chocolate bars. And people will say, how did you break your fast? And honestly, my friends, I'm eating the same things that you are. You know, sometimes I have a nice big salad, and I always put protein in it. Lots of veggies. I always try to get in lots of veggies, okay? So I'll give you a typical day now and what I used to have. And I hope that will help you guys, okay? So, no, I don't have show and tell today. I'm just talking, and just hopefully, you know, this helps you guys to stay on track and figure out what works for you. I'm not telling people to do what I do. I'm just showing you and telling you what I've done in the past, future, and in the present, what I'm doing, okay? So I'm just switching hands because it's hard to hold the phone. Anyways, and I'm out for my walk. I have my me time. This is when I love to talk. I love to talk anyways. All right, so in a typical day now, I'll make a big, huge salad. If I have leftovers, like grilled vegetables, when I make grilled vegetables on my rock grill, sometimes I roast them, sometimes I steam them. And I like a variety of ways of vegetables like that. And, you know, that makes it more interesting. Raw vegetables, sometimes I just have a plate of raw vegetables and I just eat it like that, or I'll dip it in different tzatziki, hummus, different low salad dressings, make your own salad dressing, which I do. Okay, so an important part is having half your plate with veggies. Okay? Half your plate with veggies. A quarter plate is protein. So in my salad or beside my veggies, I'll have tuna, I'll have salmon, trout. Okay? And I try to make it, lean, with not too many sauces, a little bit of olive oil, some lemon. I buy a dill sauce. Like, you can find things to make it interesting, okay? Even light mayo, and spice it up with some, like make a sriracha, right? With a little bit of Frank's hot sauce, some onion powder, garlic powder. Use your spices, people. Use your spices. That will make it delicious. I love the roasted red pepper seasoning. Try saying that a few times. Roasted red pepper seasoning. I love that stuff on everything. On my salads, my veggies. It's super delicious. So find seasonings that will help to keep the flavor and the interest, all right? And you can find lots of my recipes on my channel. Of course, I'm going to tell you that. Of course, I'm going to promote myself. Of course. So, and then I like to have a low carb. So sometimes, like I mentioned, my Mama Lupa tortillas, any kind of bread. I like Betty Bread Light because they're 1 smart point. I love the smart buns. They're 1 smart point each. So for lunch, I'll have 1 of those, or sometimes I'll have a package of Melba Toast for 2 smart points, or half a package. Again, I like to incorporate some kind of low carb because it keeps me satisfied for a longer period of time. I'm not into the high fat diets. Some people love the high fat cheeses and all of that when they're eating the high, I do love bacon. I will have bacon once in a while. No, but there's nothing wrong with it. So, a couple of pieces. Or I'll have a half a cup or a 1/3 cup of rice, a small potato, mashed potatoes. And I started enjoying konjac noodles and rice, and shirataki noodles. Some people love them, some people hate them. And also making like zucchini noodles, right? Using squash for squash noodles, beet noodles. You can be so creative. I've made, so many recipes with broccoli or cauliflower, and that really helps. So it tricks your mind, right? I've made my own tortillas. And of course, I love to bake, and I have a sweet tooth. So, again, when you make things yourself, then you'll have control over what you're eating and get creative. I love stir fries. So sometimes I'll have a stir fry for lunch and add shrimp or chicken or fish to it, whatever it is. All right. For dinner, I'll have chicken. And again, something very similar to lunch. If I've had a salad for lunch, then I'll usually have some kind of steamed or grilled vegetable for dinner. I like to shake it up. Some people just love salads all the time, but you don't want to get bored. So stir fries are another healthy option, okay? Because you can add so many things to it. I love omelets or egg muffins. I love overnight oats. I love oatmeal, and sometimes I'll have that. And that's also a great snack because it's filling, it's satisfying, right? You can make different types of protein shakes or smoothies, which are delicious. I rather eat my calories than drink my calories. So it just depends on what you put in it. I like to fill it with lots of veggies and get in my veggies that way, sneak it in, especially spinach. I love kale. I make kale chips. And, I love a variety of food. So sometimes I don't eat a lot of beef. as I've mentioned, it's usually chicken, fish. Okay, and that's what I usually live on, chicken and fish. And I'll have some beef sometimes, or I'll have some tofu or beans. I love bean salads. I make a lot of those. I just got squirted. So I do that. I like to make chili, or I'll make a meat sauce, or I'll make burgers, different type of burgers, salmon burgers, veggie burgers I've made. Tuna, I'm going to make tuna burgers, but I love salmon and turkey burgers or meatballs. There's so many things. It's endless what you can have. So there's no excuse that there isn't enough variety or creativity or ways to find things on my channel, and also on YouTube, on Pinterest. There's just amazing amounts of people out there that will show you how to make different options for you so that you stay on track. So for snacks, I'll have delicious watermelon or peaches or nectarines or grapes, whatever fruit. I love a nice apple. Bananas are my favorite. I love PB2 powder. So, or I love Cool Whip. Not that everybody can handle it. So, if you can't, don't put it in your house. I have a hard time with nuts. I used to buy those big, huge jars from Costco, but that's a trigger for me. So you have to know your triggers. Sometimes I'd put them into little baggies, but then I end up eating more anyways. Popcorn is a great option. I love veggie straws. The WW snacks are delicious. Or you can make your own snacks. I've made my own bits and bites. You can check out that recipe. Again, being creative is really key to being successful. And even on Intermittent, this is what I eat. This is how I eat. Okay, so I usually have 2 meals. I break my fast or breakfast with the things that I've mentioned, and then I'll have a snack in the afternoon, sometimes a Weight Watcher snack, sometimes just some fruit, and sometimes I even add fruit to my salads. A lot of times I do. I love adding fresh blueberries, strawberries, peaches, pears. It makes for a really satisfying, filling, sweet meal. So that's another thing you can do. And shake things up, and try to make sure that if you're still working. I know some of you are retired, you lucky people, but even if you're retired, it's still good to think about what you're going to have for a few days, and then change it up and make a lot. When you're making already, I always say, my mother always says, you're making already, so make a lot, and then you can freeze things and have them ready. So for those of you that aren't necessarily cooks or bakers, when you try, like, my recipes are ridiculously easy. So that's why I do them, because I know that you want things that are fast, easy, and have the type of ingredients in your house, not these crazy fancy ingredients. Whenever I used to see those, when I'd watch videos, I'd say, I'm never going to make that because there's too many things I have to go out and buy. So I hope this video was helpful. Everything in moderation. Don't break your fast with lots of chocolate bars, ice cream, donuts. All right. Do it. Be mindful. Think about how you're going to feel. You're going to have so much energy. You're going to feel great. You're going to be able to go walking like I do, or whatever exercise you love. And, think about your why. Think about all the goals. Think about all your non-scale victories, because you're the most important person. All right. So take care. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe and share with all your WW, intermittent, keto, anybody friends, all right? Bye for now. Mwah. Take care.